boys and girls, Guinness Tashiv. I hope you're keeping well. I've got a question for you this morning. Have you ever wanted to be famous? Have you ever wanted the whole world to know your name? Have you ever wanted to enter the history books for all time? Well, if you have, maybe it's time to look at some Guinness World Records for inspiration. Once you set or beat a world record, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter what happens after that. You will always have held that record for that moment in time. Unless you're very competitive, in which case you might want to try and beat someone who's beaten your record to reclaim your title. Marking world records officially began with the story of a man named Sir Hugh Beaver back in 1951. He was on a hunting trip in Ireland actually, and the story goes that he was out hunting and he and his companion kept missing while they were shooting at some golden plovers. Lucky plovers, am I right? And they called them the Irish plover. Anyway, so an argument between him and his friend broke out. And they were saying things like, well, if this bird is so fast, because obviously they couldn't shoot it, maybe it's the fastest bird in Europe. And then the other person said, no, I think the peregrine falcon is actually the fastest bird in Europe. Or maybe it's the red grouse, I'm not really sure. But no one actually knew the answer. So Beaver actually tried to look it up. And he could find nothing about the fastest bird. So then he started thinking, well, what if there was some sort of a handbook that could solve this sort of argument? He also decided that it'd be great to have a book for solving arguments in pubs. So 3 years later, Sir Hugh Beaver got to work. He hired 2 journalists to help him gather information, and they set about putting together the first Guinness Book of Records. It was first published in 1955, and Beaver sent a copy to as many pubs as he could. He said it wasn't meant to be a money-making scheme. He just wanted to settle arguments. Now, the book became a bestseller all over the world, and in doing so, it actually broke a world record in itself for the best-selling copyright book in the world. Now, when I was a kid, at Christmas time, we used to get the Guinness Book of Records, and we would spend hours scrolling through the pages and looking at all these amazing records. Some were really tough, some were kind of funny, some were zany, and we actually tried to beat some of them ourselves. It was great fun. So what kind of records are held? And the big question is, how can we beat them and mark our names in the history books? Well, here are some of the toughest world records. We've all heard of Usain Bolt. In 2009, on August 16th, he set the world record for the fastest man on Earth. At his peak speed during the 100-metre race, he was travelling at just under 44 kilometres an hour. Now watch this. Now, I class myself as pretty nippy on the hurling pitch, but 44 kilometres an hour, that's amazing. Next one. A man named Thomas Blackthorne holds the world record for lifting the most weight with his tongue. He lifted 27 pounds for 5 seconds, which is around 12 kilograms. So, this weight is 5 kilograms, this weight is 5 kilograms, and this chain is around 2 kilograms. I think we can do this. You think we can do this? Let's do it. Here we go. Oh, did I mention that he lifted the weight by piercing his tongue with a hook? No way. No chance. Not doing it. All right, how about this one then? Kevin Fast managed to pull an entire CC-177 Globemaster aeroplane for 28 feet. So he had a big rope attached to an airplane and he pulled it all that way. Now, I better start eating my vegetables if I want to be thinking about beating that record. To be honest with you, those records sound a little bit painful, possibly more trouble than they're worth. For me personally, I'd much rather break a record that doesn't involve sticking weight to my face with a hook or pulling an entire airplane. Now, the Guinness World Records got zanier as the years went on. Xu Quan from China went on live television to see if he could break the world record for gurning. Now, gurning basically means to pull a really funny face. But as well, there's a bit of criteria that must be met when you're attempting a Guinness World Record. The criteria for this particular one was that his bottom lip had to cover his nostrils. Now, because of this, he had to hold his breath while he was giving it a go. And I'm not going to lie, he looked absolutely hilarious. He had to put his lip over his nostrils and hold it there. But hey, he managed to break the record and he held this funny face for 53 seconds. Think you could do better? Okay, what about some of our more tasty records? For example, the record for most scoops on one ice cream cone. Dmitry Penchera tried to beat this record back in 2018. Check this out. He managed to get 125 scoops of delicious ice cream onto one cone. So the next time a grown-up is doing the shopping, tell them you want hundreds of tubs of ice cream. All for research and making history, of course. Now, at this stage, you're probably thinking, there's no way I beat any world records. All those people are from different parts of the world. But what if I told you that there's actually a family from right here in Ireland whose hobby is trying to beat world records? It's true. The Hicksons in County Kerry are siblings who have held or set over 12 different records at different stages. And there's some pretty strange ones in there as well, including Sandra Hickson's fastest mile wearing handcuffs. Also, her and her brother Jason completed the fastest three-legged race. Jason Hickson said the toughest record that he broke was the farthest distance farmers carry in 24 hours, carrying 100 pounds of weight. Now, 100 pounds is the same as 45 kilograms. And the weights I had earlier on were around 12 kilograms. So that just gives you an idea of how heavy it was. Now, Jason travelled over 50 kilometres back in 2018. Another one of Jason's is that he holds a world record for most rugby drop goals within 3 minutes. So, as you can see, a lot of these records are actually all about getting out into the air and getting some exercise. You can have great fun trying to break them. Another record is held by a man named Julian Checkley in County Galway. He created a Batman suit with the most gadgets on it. It's honestly like a real Batman suit.
I'd like to give you guys a little bit more information on my Guinness World Record cosplay suit with the most functional gadgets. And here you see is all of my gadgets, nice and neat. One of my favorite items in the utility belt are definitely my mini batarangs. One of the most useful parts of my kit would of course be my Batman first aid toolkit. This would be my lockpick kit. I forgot my keys.
Come to think of it, I've never seen Julian Checkley and Batman in the same place. Weird. So there you go. You don't have to pull planes with unbelievable strength or run faster than any human to get into the history record books. In fact, here are some records that you could try beating in your very own homes. Did you know that there's a record for the tallest fidget spinner tower built in 1 minute? Now, the criteria is they all have to be spinning and you can't touch the spinner again to keep it spinning. So you'd have to spin your fidget spinner, put another one on top of it, spin that one, put another one on top of it, spin that one. The record is 10 spinning fidget spinners in a tower in 1 minute. I don't know. If you have enough fidget spinners, I reckon it's doable. Now the next one, I know you're going to love. Todd Fernley holds the Guinness World Record for the most chicken nuggets eaten in 1 minute. He managed to eat 315 grams of chicken nuggets. Disclaimer, this record should only be attempted as part of a healthy, balanced diet. Now, the last one that I think is beatable is the tallest Lego tower, built in a minute. The record stands at 30 blocks of Lego. I'm just going to show you. You're only allowed to touch one piece at a time. So you'd have to put the Lego down and the next one on top of it. Might be a little bit harder than I thought. Let me try this again. There you go. You're only allowed to touch one piece of Lego and you're not allowed to fix the ones that you've already touched. So the record, as I said, is 30 pieces of Lego in 1 minute. And boys and girls, fans of the Homeschool Hub, we're about to make history. Are you ready? I think we can do it. And I'm so glad you're here to watch the journey. Here we go. Okay, so I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 pieces of Lego here. Okay, you ready? We're going to start the clock and 3, 2, 1, go. Not a great start. Not a great start. Okay, that was a broken piece of Lego. That's fine. That's fine. How's the clock? How are we doing? We're doing good? We're doing good? Great. Great. Come on, Lego. Now I'm in a rhythm. Now I'm in a rhythm. We got this. Okay, here we go. We have it. We have it. Yes. 30. Fit, Lego. Come on, we're against the clock here. Someone keeping the timer? Not keeping the timer out there? Great, great. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Loads of time left, I'd say. Loads of time. Come on. Ah! Well, there you go. As the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. So I've got a great idea. Why don't you try beating some records of your own? Even if you don't manage to do it like I did just now, it's still great fun trying. I'll see you all in the history books. Slán!